On the road again. Back in 2018, J.D. Scholten used his trusted companion, his RV that he named Sioux City Sue. They traveled the 4th Congressional District. He ended up losing narrowly to Republican Congressman Steve King in that race for Congress. Ended up much closer than you might assume if you're just looking at the party registration numbers. Well, he's out there back on the road, and he's also back here with us on The Insiders. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
All right, road trip number 2. So what's different this time?
A lot of it is the same old, same old. We felt we just ran out of time last time. When you move the needle 24 points, which is third most of the nation amongst all challengers, we did a lot of things right, but we just were limited on time, and so we picked up right where we left off. We're currently on our first 39 county tour, going to towns of under 1,000 people. Call it the Don't Forget About Us tour, and it's been amazing. And the RV's up and running, but a little bit of an exhaust issue, but for the most part, it's running pretty smoothly.
Not your exhaust, but the RV's exhaust.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta get tinkered with here. Hey, when you're traveling around here, you know, we're right in the middle of these impeachment hearings. How are people back home talking about this, and what do they want to see?
Yeah, so we've had about 20 of these town halls, and I've only been asked about it one time. And so, whereas like the RFS and what's happening with ethanol, I get asked that almost the majority of the time. Healthcare, almost every stop we talk about grocery stores. Most of these rural communities are struggling to keep their one grocery store, and I think what people are seeing as far as what's happening out in D.C. is they're just kind of waiting and letting the facts kind of play its course.
How are you handling this conversation specifically about health care? If we look at the presidential race, which kind of dominates a lot of the coverage in our state, we have the Medicare for All folks, and then we have the other ones who may do it differently, but it's either public option or some kind of buy-in, whatever it is. How are you going to handle that?
What I tell folks all the time is we have 20 people running for president. They have 20 different solutions. I'm for all of them. All of them are better than what we have today. I think our goal is universal health care, something that looks like Medicare for all, but I think it's going to take steps to get there. And whether it's putting a public option or whatever it is, a Medicare buy-in, those are the steps needed right now.
Medicare for all will cost a ton of money.
Yeah.
Tens of trillions of dollars. Can we do that?
Absolutely. It would be actually a tax break, I think, on a lot of the middle class folks. We're already paying the most per country or per person per Western developed country, and so it'd be more efficient.
When you talk about the future of education with the people in the 39 county district there, that's another one where the candidates have a divide here, right? Whether we do full-on free tuition for everybody to go, both community college and four-year, or whether we just expand help maybe with Pell Grants or refinancing, that kind of thing. How are you going to handle that? I'm
more for the expand the Pell Grants. I think we should have free community colleges. Our needs in the 4th District are, we need people who go into technical fields. That's the biggest demand that we have right now. And so I see so many kids going off to college, getting a 4-year degree, and then going back to Sioux City to work $12 an hour with no benefits. Whereas kids who go straight into the workforce working for a union, they're making $60,000, $70,000 in the first couple of years. And so it makes sense that we promote what our needs are right now. And then we need to have in Iowa, or in the 4th District, we need to have an economy that can absorb our college students. Right now we don't, and so that needs to change.
With this talk about this tuition-free college, it really comes down to the debt, right?
Right.
So is there something we should be doing? You know, you have people like Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren saying essentially wipe away, the government will just wipe away most of your college debt. They may have income. I think Warren's is $100,000 is the way she caps it. You have to make less than $100,000. Is that something we should do, or should we help you more on the front end?
Well, I think there's a lot of things that are going around right now, and you see what student debt is happening. It's crippling a generation, and it's the #1 debt we have right now. And you combine that, we have in the 4th District, we have farm debts at an all-time high as well. And so I think we're just getting ourselves as a society more and more into debt, and we need to find solutions, because right now a lot of whatever sector you're at, we're struggling in a lot of different ways.
When you go back into the smaller communities, those that even today are still dominated in the agriculture sector, what is can you evaluate their health right now? What's their financial health?
I mean, we're seeing folks who, I know a family friend who has on a Century farm, and the father was about to retire.
And you have a farm in your family?
Yep, we rented out to a family friend, and they're trying to find solutions. I know a lot of farmers out there are putting some of their land into rent to help with the cost and everything. But if we ended tariffs, this is a narrative that I don't think gets talked about enough. If we ended tariffs tomorrow, which it doesn't look like it's going to happen, but if we did, farmers are still suffering because of the market consolidation. If we're thinking about, or my campaigns, or myself thinking about endorsing a candidate for president, the one thing that is my litmus test is to make sure that we have strong antitrust in our agriculture fields. Because right now, whether it's the inputs that are squeezing the farmers or on the other side too, there's not enough markets.